Welcome back to the Red Slayer Rides. I'm your host Connor, and in today's video, I'll be reviewing Steel Vengeance, the acclaimed #1 roller coaster in the world, which I do not agree with. But regardless, Cedar Point did a phenomenal job turning Mean Streak into this thing. RMC worked magic with this coaster. Cedar Point RMC, they do it again. They could do it again with a T-Rex, put it in Dragster's plot. I'm just kidding. They better not remove Dragster. I still need to ride it. But I will never be experiencing that Dragster as you know it. Maybe with an LSM launch, maybe with some different stuff. I don't know. I'm not going to do a video on what they're going to do to Dragster because A, it's too late, and B, I don't really want to because I never got to experience the original Dragster. I saw it when I went to Cedar Point earlier this year, which was my first visit, and it was sad it wasn't opened, but this thing was, and this was great. I think this coaster was incredible. It was my third RMC I've been on, and yeah, let's get into the statistics. It is 5,740 feet long, 205 feet tall, 74 miles per hour, a 90-degree drop, down that 200-foot drop, and 4 inversions. And this does have the most airtime on any coaster in the world. Does it have the strongest? No, but it has the most, which does give it some bragging rights. This coaster, it's just incredible the amount of airtime that they were able to fit onto this ride. As you can see in this off-ride footage, it completely blazes through the first half. The second half slows down a little bit, which I will talk about, but without further ado, let's get into the layout of Steel Vengeance. Your ride experience on Steel Vengeance starts out with straight track, but then a right-hand turn out of the station into a little bunny hill, and then another little bunny hill, and you start up the lift hill. Quick footnote, the lift hill, when you're going up, you feel very high in the air, much higher than you actually are. Just something I noticed compared to like Lightning Rod or Twisted Timbers, the other two RMCs that I've been on. But other than that, you feel tall. Going over the lift hill, you start down on your 200-foot drop, 90 degrees straight down, hitting a bunny hill that sends you flying. Then going up into the beautiful top hat element. Going back down to the right, up into the marvelous overbank. Still going right, going back down into a step up, and then a beautiful barrel roll going upwards. Still going to the right, you hit a wave turn, mini wave turn, and then go into a cutback element, which is also incredible. Going into a step down, going into a now step up, going left into the mid-course brake run, which now hits. In this footage, it doesn't. Going left, dropping off of the mid-course, going into a step up, and then a nice airtime hill, going down into, once again, another twisted airtime hill. Going back down to the left into an overbank, then hitting a beautiful roll underneath the supports, going into an airtime hill, and another airtime hill, which then sends you into a miniature wave turn, going back down into another barrel roll, and then overbank left, and you hit some more airtime pops, just rapid, some of them outer bank, some of them normal, and you just boom, 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 then hit the brake run. You know when I said earlier you seem very tall at the top of the lift hill? That was kind of a lie. You feel very tall basically on any element off of the ground on this ride. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's my height that makes me feel taller than everything else. Highly doubt that's the reason, but it's just, I don't know why. When you're on a wooden coaster or something that has a support structure made of wood, and you look at it, it looks a lot taller than it actually is. Let's imagine here for a second, Maverick was the height of Steel Vengeance. I am willing to bet Steel Vengeance would look way taller. Steel Vengeance in some spots looks taller than Millennium Force. At least that's my opinion. Not all people might see it that way, but I do. So that's my opinion on that. Anyways, airtime on this ride. It's airtime. This is the definition of great airtime. This is what this ride is made for, and I love airtime a lot. the inversions on this ride, those first two high in the air, those are crunchy inversions. Some of that stuff you would experience on B&M inverts. Very impressive what RMC did with those inversions. And the first drop, marvelous. We love the first drop. The first drop is incredible. You get absolutely flung. The first half in general with the top hat and the massive overbank. Yes, that overbank is better than Pantheon's. Don't at me. It's great. This whole coaster's first half is incredible until the mid-course hits. Once the mid-course hits, some stuff happens. That mid-course, as of 2022, has started to hit, which is not good. When it hits, it kinda hits hard. Not Alpengeist hard, but it hits. And it's not great, because the second half feels very slow. And you may be wondering, Connor, how do you know what it feels like the second half without the mid-course? Because sometimes the mid-course isn't on. I got a ride without the mid-course on. That second half was blazing. It was absolutely awesome. It's just, if that mid-course hits, the second half feels equivalent to Twisted Timber's second half, which is still incredible, but honestly, no. It feels slower than Twisted Timber's second half. There, I said it. Twisted Timbers feels faster than the second half of this ride, which, yeah, I expected it to run slow in the second half, or you would expect it if people didn't hype this ride up so much. This is said to be the greatest coaster in the world, but I do not see that. I don't even think it is the best in the park. However, it is still a 10 out of 10 coaster creation. Yes, this is a 10 out of 10, but it is not the best at the park. Its neighbor, in my opinion, barely beats it, but that's just me. I prefer launch coasters, but Steel Vengeance is a masterpiece of a roller coaster. I highly, highly recommend everybody ride this coaster before they trim it even more than they need to, because they probably will put more trims on the ride, because it's still very, very insane in the first half, but that second half really does struggle when those trim brakes hit. It kind of crawls through some of the inversions, which adds some nice hang time, but nah, we're looking for those whippy inversions like what you're seeing right now. You see this cut back? Man, that thing absolutely pulls you through. This is what we like to see, not slow inversions. But anyways, this is a 10 out of 10 coaster. I will be coming out with more coaster reviews later on throughout the year to round out 2022. Yeah, no, it's already almost over. Wow, we're in September now. And I'm sorry I didn't upload a lot more earlier, but I just had a lot of schoolwork. My bad. I'll upload more, though. And so, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.